feet. Cruising waves, we're wild and free. From the deck, we'll see it all. Laughing loud, having a ball. Are you ready? Let's hit the road. Eagle flying, watch us go. Mountain peaks to valleys deep. Every turn a promise we keep. PK Adventure travels in our hearts. Every journey, a brand new start. Laughs and smiles on every side. Till the fun come for the ride. Island hopping, here we come. Sunny skies and beating drums. Finding treasures new and old. And with stories yet untold. Campfire glow under the stars. Whispers of the moonlit stars. In every corner secret calls. The world awaits in wonder it unfolds. PK Adventure travels in our hearts. Every journey a brand new start. Laughs and smiles on every side. Join the fun, come for the ride.
Whoop whoop! What day is it?
Hump day.
Hump day!
So
And PKAT's here to help you through the rest of the week.
yes, it's gonna be a short week for us anyway. At least
Yes.
for me.
That's right.
I have Friday off.
Ooh, you got the whole day Friday off?
I'm gonna try.
Woo!
I know.
That doesn't happen too often,
I know.
folks. Not often at all.
Tomorrow's my Friday.
Yes.
So what are we talking about today?
I don't know.
Let's go ahead and just talk about so Christine and CJ are out and about doing CJ birthday stuff, so they
Yep.
will not be in tonight.
Yep.
So you're stuck with Ryan and Mel tonight.
Just us. Excuses. I mean, of all people, Cheryl knows you don't get off on your birthday.
Well, I guess.
They didn't ask the board for permission.
Yeah, exactly. Laxly.
But anyway, yes, we are here. We're going to have some laughs. We're going to talk some talks. Today we're talking about food. I know we've kind of hit this last year a couple of times, but new twist on it since we've been on a few ship inspection tours on different lines. We're still going to be having a chat about, buffet dining, specialties, room service, and we're going to throw in a little comparisons that we can talk about between all the different lines where we have experienced them in the different places. So,
And ones we want to experience.
yes. But before we get too far along, if you're here for the replay, make sure you hit that hashtag replay, and we do appreciate it. And without further ado, though, let's welcome some people from our live chat.
KKS Travel and Education Vlogs.
Hello there.
Hello.
And Danny. The spectacular supporter.
That's right. This is just for you, Danny.
Okay. Ryan's in charge of the buttons right now.
I guess I am today.
And Cheryl made it in.
That's right, Cheryl.
Do you want to banana?
He made that one especially for you. Let me see. John is here.
Welcome in, John.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
And who is this?
Ooh, Alexis March.
Yes.
I don't think we've seen you yet. So welcome in.
New person.
Hello.
Yeah, while you're here, make sure you do the hashtag PKAT, PKAT, and that will share your link. That way we'll definitely link up with you after the show. And those who are in the chat, if they're not already hooked up with you, they can definitely reach out and link you.
Oh, controversial cruising.
Oh, yeah. If you were here, you had the live very recently with this great individual. And we have to have a special button, of course.
God, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yep.
And those of you who know Scott know that clip is absolutely true. He
Yeah.
is everywhere supporting everyone out there.
He was everywhere last week. He was with us last week, too.
Yep. We had a blast.
Yeah, if you guys anybody else wants to come on the show and participate in our Wednesday lives, make it a little more entertaining. We're always open to connecting with people.
Yep. All you need is either a bunch of coffee or Cokes.
Or some Red Bull.
Or some Red Bull. It gives you wings. Right?
So
I have some new sounds too.
yeah. Ryan added some new sounds. Where's mine that talks about? Oh, this is mine.
Yes.
I feel like I'm at the hockey game or something like when I hear that one.
Right, absolutely.
Well, that's the chat.
Was that everyone? Did we already welcome in John Gaylor? I see him there, but did we actually?
Yes, we said hi.
Did we? Okay, I just want to make sure. So awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in again. Today we're talking about cruise line food. So there is a poll out there, so make sure you vote. And it's basically when you're on a cruise, what's your go-to spot? What's your favorite place to go? Do you like to do room service and get that ordered? Do you like to just go to the buffets? Do you like to have the main dining fare, or is specialty restaurants your jam?
Somebody snuck in. Whatever floats your boat snuck in.
Angie, you get.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I don't know why I see Ryan around the house singing "Welcome to the Jungle."
Guns N' Roses works.
Yeah, I made him put that one.
Welcome to the Jungle. And it's also in one of my favorite movies too, Dirty Harry, the original one. Jim Carrey, before he became a super comedic actor, he did the little scene, and they were lip syncing to "Welcome to the Jungle," and they had an Exorcist ripoff. Great movie, Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry. Go watch it.
Hey, Emson.
Hey,
How
how you doing?
All right. So let's start off. I don't know. What do you want? Which area would you like to start off chatting about today?
Well, I guess we should start with what everybody typically eats at is the dining room.
All right. Main dining room.
Main dining room. 'Cause majority of the masses eat in the dining room.
Yeah. I mean, that is part of your initial cruise fare, right? So there's no additional cost.
It's your baseline.
It's your baseline. It's where everyone goes for the most part. Where a lot of new cruisers end up going, because let's face it, sometimes they don't know that there are other options out there.
Well, some just think, they're on a cruise. Why should they pay more?
Mm-hmm.
They're happy with the main dining room. And
Yeah.
for a long time, Ryan and I, we did that. But
Yeah.
we've actually, since we're grown-ups now and make a little bit more than
Can
$12
afford-
an hour, we're not rich, trust me, because we have
Yeah.
a wedding to pay for. But we like to explore other options, and we budget for it way in advance. So that's the way we roll.
Yep. Let's just put it this way. We had not eaten in a specialty dining room until August of 21. I think the Mardi Gras was the first time.
I don't know the exact date, but
Yeah, it was the Mardi Gras. That was the first time we had ever eaten in a specialty
I
restaurant.
don't know why you know the exact date.
Well, because I pay for it all. And I know that we had never eaten in the steakhouse.
I just showed up.
So the only thing, and I guess I slightly have to take that back a little bit. The only thing we did do was we did do the chef's table and before that.
Yeah.
But as far as going to like Fahrenheit 555 or Chops, on Royal, those kind of specialty dinings, we had not eaten in a specialty dining room.
But for the majority of it, so our favorite, I know Ryan's favorite is for dining room would be probably Princess, without a doubt. We've had the opportunity to eat on Carnival, and Carnival started out great, but anyone who's been on Carnival for a while knows that They changed their menu.
They changed their menu, and it's not as wonderful as it was when I first started. It's not bad by any means.
I think the options started getting taken away when they started doing the budget cuts.
Mhm.
I think COVID ruined a lot of things because they had to save money, obviously.
I get it.
So they were limiting options and taking away things that people, wouldn't order necessarily all the time.
Yeah.
We've seen them do like a standard favorite menu, like, I guess
Usually it's a chicken,
A
like
chicken, maybe a steak,
flat iron steak is normally a daily thing.
and then
so.
just like a basic option, and then like the I guess the theme of the night.
Yeah,
menu.
whatever the theme menu is for that.
And
evening.
that's kind of how Carnival is set up, and then Royal, I believe, does something very similar.
Mm-hmm. And we'll be honest, even though we've been on about 13 or 14 Royal Caribbean cruises at this point, we've only eaten in the main dining room maybe 4 times.
Maybe 4 times.
Maybe 5 at most.
Yeah. So.
And that's just because we've kept our eye open, and Royal has the unlimited dining plan, which Carnival does not. And we book so early that a lot of times there's really, really good deals on the unlimited dining plan. And it boils down to where you're paying like $60 a day for unlimited specialty dining, which you figure you go out to a regular restaurant and, $60 is one meal,
Right.
And you can get technically 2 or 3 specialty restaurants with upgrades. So
Carnival Cruise Addicts is in. Since
Ooh.
we're talking about Carnival.
Yes, welcome in.
Hello.
But yeah, so as far as main dining room goes, Mel and I have, tasted Carnival. We've been into Royal Caribbean's main dining room a couple of times. We've done ship inspections where we were able to taste MSC. We've only tasted it once, so we only have one introductory rate to it. But we're going to be going next month, May 3rd. We're going to be doing a tour of the World America, where I assume we'll have main dining room tests for that.
The one thing I noticed about the main dining room, because it is a European line, we were offered, I don't know if they do this normally, but we were offered like a wine with our dinner.
Yeah.
So that was kind of included. So that's customary for Europeans. They have wine with dinner.
But we don't know because we were on a travel agent ship inspection.
Right.
That could have just been special for us and not a normal occurrence on MSC. So if you've been on MSC, let us know. Do they give you a complimentary glass of wine, or was that more of, hey, we're travel agents, so that was just something they did for travel?
Yeah, and then MSC, because obviously MSC had a bad rap for a long time, and it seems like they're trying to change their image, which they have been lately. So the MSC food that the one time we ate, it was okay. It was not horrible, but it was not superior. So I mean, we only have one frame of reference right now.
Right now. So and for the record as well, when my concern was I got the New York strip, and it was very fatty and lots of grizzle, but the flavor for the meat part I had was good. So it could have just been the luck of the draw, and that just happened to be a bad piece of meat that came.
Oh. We got some people.
Do we have some more that have snuck in?
CME Traveling.
Whoop whoop.
He's trying to take his mind off Marcia driving on I-95 there. We've been on that road before.
Wow. And you know what? Yeah, when we're not hauling our trailer, that's kind of what we do around that as well, Kurt. But we got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not so much anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, we have to drive a safe limit when we're pulling the trailer.
Yeah, like 65 is the max. If I'm not paying attention or I don't put it on cruise and I creep up to 70, I can immediately start to feel it and look down.
Yeah, drive carefully. Hope you get to wherever you need to go safely. Oh, Law Jones is in.
Welcome in.
Hello.
I answered all above on dining. Okay.
Okay. So anyway, so back to what we were saying. So yeah, MSC, again, since it was a European flair, it has a European twist to it. And we've got relatives that live in Germany. I've been to Italy. So yeah, the seasonings are a little bit different over there than what you get in the U.S. For instance, for a lot of U.S., let's just look at salad to begin with. A salad, you're normally going to have like a vinaigrette type of balsamic, vinaigrette or Italian seasoning. Ranch dressing's big. They had kind of a vinaigrette, but it was a citrus flavor and not like a balsamic Italian flavor. I don't know what it was, but it had a strong citrus taste to it.
But
but it was still good. It was still
so
good.
what dining room on what ship are you looking forward to trying? I know what my answer is.
What dining room? Well, we didn't talk about Princess other than Princess rocks as far as their main dining goes.
Their food was really good. The presentation was really good. I don't know if they were just trying to impress us because they were travel agents, but Ryan's had it twice, and the consistency was pretty much spot on in both ships.
And I had different meals. The first time I had the beef tenderloin, came out perfectly cooked to the temperature I asked for, very juicy, very good. All of the accompaniment was delicious. The dessert was amazing. And then I had the cod. Is that what I had the second time?
Yes.
Then I had the cod on the Sun Princess, and same thing. Just flavorful, flaked right off. It was just amazing, amazing. And that was main dining room fare. I would put it just under specialty dining restaurants on Royal and Carnival. And that was main dining room fare. So it was fabulous.
Well, the cruise line that I want to try the most, which really doesn't have a main dining, it has more like specialties, which is Virgin.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I'm with you on that.
Yes, so they're doing stuff differently than the mass cruise lines. They're not doing buffet, and they're not doing a traditional main dining room, if you will. They're basically having a bunch of like specialties restaurants, and those specialties are actually included in your fare.
Yep. So one less thing to have to worry about.
Right. So if you wanted to go try the, Asian themed restaurant, you can make a reservation. If you want to try the Chinese, or I'm just throwing that stuff out.
Well, they have like the Wake restaurant, which is kind of like their steak place. So
yeah, they have a steakhouse, they have a seafood house. They have other stuff, like they have a scratch kitchen where you can actually make your own meals. What was it? It was
the scratch kitchen is you basically choose your ingredients. Hey, I want chicken, I want this, and then the chef makes it from scratch without any input. You just tell them the protein and some of the things you want, and they will design a meal for you based on what they have in the kitchen.
So for food wise, I'm kind of looking forward to going to Virgin.
Yeah. I think we had some more people sneak in.
We do.
So,
let's see, we got Law Jones, we have DeFam
Adventures. Welcome in, Ron.
And we have...
Did I see? I thought I saw Kathy Mills sneak in.
Yes.
Yes, Kathy.
Hello there.
And
thanks for coming in.
We have
Najuma.
there you go.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
Then Cheryl says she's been on Regal Princess, or she will be on Regal Princess, and she says it's good to hear about the food.
Yes, I was amazed when I was on Caribbean Princess. That's one of their older ships. At how good the food was, and I was just bragging to Mel, and she's like, "Okay, whatever." And so we get on the Sun Princess a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, "Are you ready for this? I'm telling you, it's going to be good." She's like, "Whatever." And then she got in there and ate, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, this broccoli risotto is one of the best risottos she's ever had."
CME Travel says he's never had a bad moment on the 5 MSC ships so far. That's good.
Excellent.
Because we booked a MSC group cruise that we're going to experience for the first time this year. So we're looking forward to it, and I'm hoping it doesn't disappoint. I've never had a bad one on the cruise lines either. Yeah, we've never technically had a bad cruise.
No,
it's your perspective you bring to it. So
yep. And I like the fact that if for whatever reason your meal wasn't the greatest in the main dining room or whatnot, you just go to a buffet and get something else.
We've done that before too.
Where just nothing looked appetizing, or we've been on cruises that the food wasn't the greatest, but I wouldn't ever call something so bad that I'm like, I would never go into this particular restaurant
now,
or this particular
shows. I've done that, but not food.
So, yeah.
Let's see. Give us a deli. So Carnival Cruise Addict says, "Give us a deli pizza, and we're all good." Yep.
Oh,
I agree with that. We've done that before too.
Yep. Well, there was one time we were on Carnival, and it was right when they first switched the menu, and I think we ate at the main dining room maybe twice, and the rest of the time was on the Lido, in the marketplace.
And
or in the
I actually like the flexibility in that. So I mean, you're not going to starve on a ship.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, see casino deals, sweet head walk-ups.
Yep, we added some new sounds and then
Yeah, I
new
told
welcomes
Rhonda
on
I
here.
needed some new sounds.
She wanted some variety, so we have a few new ones.
PK still.
Awesome.
You got the right, Kathy. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing I miss, and I hear that they still do it on some. I think it's on Celebrity, but I miss when you would get baked Alaska, because that's on almost every cruise in the main dining room for a dessert one night. But I remember back in the day where they would actually bring the entire baked Alaska out and then light it on fire there at the table, and then let the meringue, do its thing, and then drizzle some lemon juice on top of it, and then slice you off pieces right then and there.
You know what I miss?
What do you miss?
The mitts on the pillows.
Yes.
I used to collect them and we'll eat them on the way home.
Yeah. And we, they bring so many that, if you didn't feel like it that night, you can bring it home and then put it in the freezer or whatnot. And then when you have your chocolate fit, let me go get one of my mints.
I miss that.
I know there are a couple of lines that still do that, but it's kind of gone by the wayside on at least Royal and Carnival that we've been on.
Yeah, I know. I think Celebrity still does it.
So,
all right. Well, we kind of exhausted main dining, right?
Yes.
Are we done?
I think we're done with that. So we can talk, I guess, buffet next then.
Okay, buffet. So that's usually your casual dining. If you don't feel like getting dressed up for dinner, if you're still in your bathing suit, well, not really your bathing suit.
Really bathing suit,
but when you're walking around in your robe, I guess, you can go to the buffet.
Yep. I think we had someone else sneak in. Cruise Bolero.
Oh, yes, I see him now.
Yep. So, welcome in.
Hello.
So buffet dining, yes, as Mel said, more flexible. And here's one of the things that I have noticed a little bit more, especially on that one Carnival cruise. A lot of what's in the main dining room makes an appearance in the buffet on the same evening as well.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a certain dish, what dish have you seen there? It was some kind of pasta. It was like not lasagna, it was something else.
I don't remember, but I remember you're like, this is the only thing I wanted on the main dining, but I don't feel like going to the main dining for this one thing because everything else looks, not as tasty as I would like to have this evening.
Right.
Only to go to the buffet, and there it was in the buffet. You can get that.
The only thing I don't like about the buffet, sometimes that stuff has been sitting there for a little bit, and sometimes it's heated and then overheated, and it could get a little rubbery and stuff like that. So that's the only thing I don't like about it. A lot of times I'll just go, because a lot of the lines in the buffet, you can get like the wok dishes at some places. Mm-hmm. You can get them to make it there and everything, and the omelet station. And
Mongolian wok for those who have been on Carnival.
Yes. And most recently when we were on the Princess, I kind of almost wish we didn't go to didn't go to the dining room because the poke bowls were really good. Even our daughter would approve, and she's picky about that stuff.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the Sun Princess tour, then hop on there. We've got it broken down into categories as well. But if you take a look as we're walking through the main dining room, the poke bowls look
the buffet,
the poke bowls look amazing.
Oh yeah, they smelled really good.
Yeah.
Did I miss some more people?
I think.
I'm sorry.
I thought I saw. Yeah, I thought I saw Keisha.
Keisha's right there.
Yep. Welcome.
Welcome to the jungle.
You've worn that one out now.
Okay, I've worn that one out, but I like it.
I know. You got all these buttons everywhere.
All right.
Did I miss anybody else? I want to make sure I don't miss anybody else.
Let's make sure. I think we're
good.
Yeah, I think we're good. Wait. No, there's Ross.
Zup, beachies.
Ross!
Hey. How you doing?
Welcome in. But anyway, so I digress. But yes, poke bowls were good.
So the buffet is good with certain things like salads. I love the salad bars on the buffet.
Yeah, and that's usually our go-to when we get on embarkation day. Is we'll generally go and just have a nice salad.
Yeah, because I'm just craving like greens before you start picking out on the other stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I like that. The other thing I like is if you go into the main dining room and let's say there's not a dessert there that catches your fancy, then normally you can just pop over to the buffet and you'll have a lot of variety between the cookies and the little cakes and the little mousse. And so you could get yourself a little nosh dessert wise there if nothing looked good on the main dining room.
Yeah. So, I mean, what was our poll? I forgot what it was.
Our poll was, what's your favorite place to go to eat? So buffet,
I
room
was
service,
curious
main
what
dining
people's
specialty.
opinion was, but
So,
we'll look at it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone else snuck in.
Oh my gosh,
You are so not paying attention. Well, it was actually right after you put the slashes. So
where was? Oh, Will G.
Will G. I can't press that one anywhere because then I'll get in trouble.
Hello there.
If I press that one again, this will be Mel.
Oh, hell
no.
I had to find a way to put another sound in there. But anyway, so buffet. I definitely like that. It's usually open, a little longer than main dining as well.
Well, you have to watch the times because, especially like in the afternoons,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it cut off like at 3:00 or whatever, so they can start preparing for dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
So you have to watch your times.
True.
And then obviously, buffet. Then you have 24-hour foods.
Mm-hmm.
You want to transition to that.
Yeah, you can look at that. Usually the pizza. As we all know, though, or maybe you don't know, some of the cruise lines have backed down from 24 hours. Carnival no longer does 24-hour pizza. Royal no longer does 24-hour pizza.
What do they do? 20-hour pizzas?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Carnival, from what I understand and what I remember, don't quote me on this, everyone, or correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's midnight now as far as...
That's like the middle of the day for some Carnival
I know,
people.
right? But as far as the pizza place itself, it's cut off at midnight, and then they've incorporated like a deep dish in the buffet midnight until a little bit later, but it's not as good as the pizza from Pirate Pizza or whatever they call it. And Royal Caribbean, I think it's like 2 a.m. So it's still it's later, but it's not 24 hours anymore.
Yeah, so I mean, sometimes they have sandwiches. I know, is it Royal Caribbean that we saw the sandwiches right next kind of to the pizza?
Yeah, but they're not. I don't think Royal though has as much of a variety for deli sandwiches as Carnival does. Carnival had on the ships that had that deli sandwich area a pretty healthy list of both hot and cold cuts that you could get. So,
But we haven't been on Carnival in a while. They might
not
have
in a
cut
while.
back.
Yeah.
So, and then room service is, I don't know if it's 24 hours anymore though.
I think most room service still is, but they now obviously have
Like
a
a
surcharge
yeah.
for most of them now. That's become more of a perk. The free room service is more of a perk now for suite guests and a few other things.
So John said deep dish is not pizza.
No, I agree with you. It is not.
It's more like pie.
Right.
Oh, and we have somebody who says they love Royal's buffet. I like Royal's breakfast buffet.
Yeah.
Like especially their bacon. I don't know how they get their bacon so crispy.
So crispy.
But that's like my favorite.
Yep.
Oh, we're gonna be going to Miami soon, but Kurt's on his way to Miami.
Yeah, they're doing the World America inaugural.
Oh,
I know.
Shoot.
I know. Where's this is me. As I see it go away from me, with me not on there.
Yeah, we're one of these days we'll get on one.
Yeah,
We just did. I had already planned the celebration key, so that was our cruise for the summer.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, back to finishing up kind of buffet and side dishes, if you will. Like Mel was saying, Mongolian wok on Carnival, the deli sandwiches. I know I'm missing something else. Street eats on Royal Caribbean.
Quick eats, basically.
Yeah, basically quick little restaurants that you can grab. But
like
those are going to be available.
Like tacos or burgers, like Guy's Burgers,
Yeah.
or the Blue Iguana, and I don't know Norwegian because I've not been on Norwegian yet.
No,
but
we haven't.
little quick eats. They always have quick eats that specialize in something. So, but yeah, I believe Celebrity actually includes, back to room service, but I think Celebrity actually includes room service in their fare. You might just have to tip. I have to check on that.
Yep. And room service is something that we have done in the past.
Yes.
We don't do it every time. And honestly, lately, we don't do it too often.
Right. Just because we're always out and about on the ship.
Yeah.
That's why we actually started switching to an interior room, not just for the cost, but we're just never in there.
Mm-hmm.
So if we decide that we're relaxing on this cruise, then maybe we'll book a balcony just to be lazy on the balcony. But when we're out and we got stuff planned, we'll just do an interior.
Yeah.
But that's another topic.
But yeah, but back to room service. So one of the things, and I don't know if anybody else remembers this, I'm definitely showing my age with this one. But when we first started going on Carnival, there was the most fabulous open face shrimp salad sandwich.
Oh my gosh.
It was to die for. And I was such a pig that it was an open face shrimp salad sandwich on it wasn't a croissant, it was a
some friccati.
Some friccati or something like that. I would order 2 of them so I could put it together for this massive shrimp sandwich. It was so delicious. Oh my God. Does anybody remember that? If you remember that or liked it, you put it in the chat. Or leave us a comment if you're watching the replay. If you remember the open face.
Yeah, when you get room service and you order a
sandwich.
couple things, it comes with like 10 little trays, and you look like you're ordered everything off the menu.
Right.
And there's like 2 cookies here, and there's a brownie here, and there's a sandwich here, there's a salad here, and it's like you could go combine it if you want.
Right. But the last time that we ordered room service, we actually did it on the Ovation of the Seas. When we got back from,
Oh yeah, we did.
I want to say Skagway.
I remember that, and they brought in, because we were sharing the room to a 2-bedroom suite, and he must have came in with 20.
Yeah, they had one of those rolling carts that they brought just for us, and that was because we didn't get back on the ship until like 9, because we didn't leave until 9:30 or something like that. But when we got back on board, like everything was closed. The Windjammer was closed. Main dining room was closed. Specialty restaurants were all done and booked up. I think all we had would have been pizza from Sorrento's, but we had that before we left because it was a late arrival,
Right.
and we didn't want pizza again. So we ended up ordering through room service, and he ended up bringing like 20 plates because we got what do we get? We got some salad. We got a couple of things of Caesar salad. We got
cookies and
cookies.
salads
We
and
had
sandwiches.
chicken fingers. We
Oh,
had
that's
Philly
what it was.
cheesesteaks
And fries.
But it seemed like everything came on a separate
Yeah, it was.
plate.
The chicken tenders were really good, though. I remember that now.
They were good. And it's upgraded too. So the original menus again were great, but then there was some cost cutting. But then they added back some more premium things like chicken wings and some more heartier meals through room service for a slight upcharge. So not bad at all. So
Desserts and sweets.
yep.
Yeah. But in another category for food, sorry, puppy just knocked my foot. But the culinary classes and stuff that we've done,
Yes.
like the sushi, and what was the other one we did? We did another one. No, not cupcake. We didn't do the cupcake one.
No, we didn't do that. We've done a bunch of sushi ones, but on Carnival, it's called Carnival Kitchen.
And they have more than just sushi, though.
Yeah, on Royal Caribbean, again, they don't have like a Carnival kitchen-ish area where they can do different ones, but they have sushi making at the sushi place. They have cupcake decorating, where you cupcake and they show you how to frost it and do all this other stuff. But the Carnival kitchen, I think that one was taken to the next level.
Yeah, the one on the Mardi Gras on the celebration.
Yeah.
They just have a huge dedicated room.
Yeah.
Just for classes, and that could be eat what we made and an entertainment value. So that was pretty cool.
And Carnival has more than just sushi and cupcakes. They have barbecues and a bunch of different styles of dishes that you can go learn to make, and then once you are done making it, then you eat it. So
right.
Like with Royal Caribbean's, for instance, the sushi class, we made five different things, I think, or four. No, four. We made 2 regular long rolls. One was the California roll, and another one was the tuna roll. And then you made some. I can't even. I'm going to butcher it. Norgi.
I don't know. I got a goldfish brain.
Yeah. Whatever it was, it wasn't a sushi roll. It was more like packed rice with the fish over top of it.
Right.
And then you made the thing that looks like an ice cream cone with the seaweed wrap and everything stuffed into it. But I mean, that's a lot of food for like 30 something. It was like $35.99 a person, but you're getting basically 4 complete sushi rolls that you could eat. So
right.
A really cool, experience number one, and then the food is just icing on the cake. So
right. And I think the last category, which we've done an episode on, is the specialty restaurants.
Yes, but before we get to the specialty restaurant, because there's a lot to break down there,
right,
let us show you this.
Attention all adventurers and travel lovers. Are you ready to embark on the ultimate getaway? Join PK Adventure Travels for an unforgettable group cruise aboard the brand new MSC World America, a ship that redefines luxury and adventure on the high seas. This is a 7-night Caribbean cruise departing from vibrant Miami, Florida on November 22nd, 2025. Imagine spending Thanksgiving week surrounded by turquoise waters, warm sunshine, and breathtaking destinations. Here's what's in store. Explore the tropical paradise of Roatan, Honduras. Discover the stunning beauty of Costa Maya, Mexico. Dive into the vibrant culture and crystal clear waters of Cozumel, Mexico. And enjoy pure relaxation on MSC's private island, Ocean Cay, where white sand beaches and exclusive experiences await. You don't want to miss this opportunity to cruise, connect, and create memories with like-minded travelers. Whether you're looking for adventure, relaxation, or both, this cruise has it all. Spaces are limited, and this is your chance to sail with PK Adventure Travels and experience the Caribbean like never before. Call now or visit us online to reserve your spot. The countdown to your dream vacation starts now.
There to look at. All right.
Yeah.
So yes, if you guys want to get on board, those who aren't already nose in the air on the inaugural, Kurt and Marcia.
Well, I'd be interested in talking to them probably
Yes.
and get their feedback. So if you guys are interested in coming and talk to us, let us know.
Yep.
That way we can get kind of a heads up with what's on the ship to look for.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, so let's talk specialty dining. So that's the last piece of the food puzzle.
And we won't go into too much depth of it because we've done a whole episode on specialty.
Mm-hmm.
But specialty, again, it's an upcharge in most cases for most cruise lines. And it's usually an elevated dining experience. You usually have a little bit more of a dress code to abide by. And usually it's for special occasions. Sometimes for, weddings, celebrations, birthdays, whatever. And it's just adds to your experience of the cruise. So,
yeah.
For example, I mean, like the Royal Caribbean, that's when we really started heavily getting into the specialties, and we have our favorites now. So we always try to work in our budget the specialties. Especially we love Chop's Restaurant.
Yes.
We love the Italian,
Giovanni's,
Giovanni's.
and Jamie's Italian.
So we come to really like, and we actually see some of the waiters over and over that we've come to like and appreciate. So we if we can, and we know one of our favorite waiters is on there, we'll try to make an effort to go see him.
Yep. And in the long scheme of things, yes, you're already paying for the standard food, but most of the additional charges are about $50 a person, which is not bad. You consider it's about 100, a little over 100 when you add the gratuity, but it's still far cheaper than going to a Ruth Chris or a Burns, on shore. You're getting for a slight upcharge on the cruise.
Right.
So it's not bad.
And you don't have to buy the whole dining package. Like for Royal, gives you an option to pick 2 restaurants or whatever, and you just pay for that. 2, what did they call it? Chops plus.
It's usually chops plus one or
something
chops
like,
plus 2 or a 3.
So, I mean, there are different price points that you can do, so you could just try it out. But you definitely don't need to go in a specialty restaurant to enjoy a cruise. You don't. It's just a different experience.
Yeah. So as far as specialty goes, steakhouses on Carnival, you have the Fahrenheit 555. On Royal Caribbean, you've got Chops, which is basically the equivalent of Fahrenheit 555, and actually being on Chops a lot, and then also having the specialty dining on Carnival. They are very, very similar as far as what they offer. One of the things, though, I kind of like, and it's just, just me, and I was like, ooh, I didn't see that on Royal. And that was in Carnival's steakhouse. They brought this box of salt out to you. And you could choose Himalayan salt or sea salt or kosher salt or garlic salt and they probably had 8 different types of salt that they would then use that to season your steak.
Right.
And
you're paying for an experience.
So that was really cool.
And then Princess, you have Crown Grill, which is their steakhouse. So could you imagine if the steak in the main dining room is good as it is, what the actual steakhouse would be? Right.
I mean, like I said, that steak in the main dining room was just under a Chops or a Fahrenheit 555 quality.
Right.
So I could only imagine what the specialty restaurant steaks would taste like there.
Yeah, so every cruise line has at least a steakhouse because people, like their steak.
Yeah.
And then every cruise line usually has either a French restaurant or an Italian restaurant.
Yeah, I think Italian by far outweighs
French.
a French.
I think I've seen maybe on the higher ends. I've seen French.
Yeah.
But
you got we always butcher this one. Carnival's what? Cucina del Capitano. Capitano, yes.
I'll get it right one time.
Right, and that's getting replaced on the Venezia. So that tour will probably be coming out next week. I'm actually working on that right now, but they don't have Cucino anymore, and it's El Vigo. And I don't know if that was just for that class of ship, or if that was just because they're changing it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was that class of ship
because it was an Italian themed ship, and I think they were just kind of catering to that.
Yep. And he said the biggest difference is the family style for Del Capitano, and then the El Faggio, or I can't remember what it'll be in the sort of, that one is more upscale. So I'm thinking that's more along the lines of Giovanni's or Jamie's.
Right.
So
yeah, and then for Norwegian, the steakhouse, I don't know how you pronounce it.
Which one?
That one?
No,
not that one.
La Bistro. Carnegie's. Or Carney's.
Carney's Steakhouse.
Yeah, Carney's Steakhouse. Yeah.
And looks like they have some crab cakes there too. It looks like.
Yeah. But with that being said, again, most ships are going to have a steakhouse.
Oh yeah, they're going to have a steakhouse.
So.
And sushi.
Yes.
So we've seen that quite a bit, especially in Carnival. Seen it Royal.
Yeah. That's starting to pop up. The hibachi or tapenaki or whatever.
Yes, the hibachi that you could do. And those tables are usually limited because, they only have the space for so many because the tables are so big.
We've seen as little as 3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at first when I saw it, I was like, are you kidding me? The Wonder of the Seas only had 3 hibachi tables. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, well, the Wonder was designed for the Asian market. And so, that's kind of the norm.
But you also
there.
have more selection on Wonder as well.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a variety style or specialty, throughout the ships.
Mm-hmm. There's usually seafood. Well, before we go off too far. So Hooked on Royal Caribbean, Rudy's Sea Grill on Carnival.
Mm-hmm. They have, what's the
some
other one?
of the other ones?
Ocean Blue on Norwegian.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know. I don't know any other seafood ones.
I don't know, but that's one of the other ones. Yeah, I guess we'll have to explore options on that.
We will have to do some research on that. But I'm sure, Virgin has their, seafood that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the wake on the seafood. That's what it is.
Yeah, the wake is, I think, a steak and seafood kind of thing. And then the ultimate specialty dining, the chef's table.
Yes.
So if you have not done the chef's table before, and if you're a foodie, and if you like wine and pairing the food together, a chef's table experience has got to be on your bucket list. It's usually, I was eyeballing it for the upcoming Vista, and Carnival's increased the price. It's about $130 a person now. And Royal Caribbean, if you have the unlimited dining, it's a $50 upcharge. I'm actually not sure what it is individually. I think it's around the same price, like $100 to $130.
But I mean, you get wine included, and it's like sometimes it could be like a 3-hour process. 3 hours. Yeah. So you get to have the top chef basically cook for you, come explain the meals, and then you have, I don't know what those wine.
Sommelier.
So there you go. The wine guy who comes in, explains the wine and why they picked it for that type of meal. So it's just another,
yeah, it is
experience.
Super, super elevated, very personable. They keep it to a very small number. Usually it's no more than 16.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had, and I think it was just luck of the draw. It was just COVID as well at the time, because we were doing it at least on Royal, within the first 2 years after everything lifted. But we had one chef's table experience where it was just the four of us, just PKAT. We were the only ones there.
I think it's because a couple of people did cancel.
Yeah. And then we had it again with Fred and Sarah, but still it was just the six of us. Again, I think on purpose that time we were actually talking to the sommelier who set it all up, and he's like, well, this one has a group, 2 or 3 other people, but if you want to move to this day, we don't have anyone signed up, and I'll just keep that private for you unless there's an absolute need to put somebody on that day. And that just made it just that much more elevated. It was just a very personal experience with them. And it was
Roll America
fabulous.
was featured on the 3rd hour of the Today Show. Oh,
Cool.
yeah, I didn't hear about that, actually.
So, and depending on what cruise line you go on, there are different options. Royal Caribbean, they met us with drinks at one of the bars, and then they took us into the place where we were going to be eating, and everything was done there. All the appetizers were done there. All of the dishes, were all prepared there. And it was still a cool experience. And then on Carnival, we actually had where we met, I think it was at a bar again, but then they walked us into a galley, and we did like a tour of the galley of the working kitchen. We had appetizers there. They taught us how to make the warm chocolate melting cake, and we all got recipes for that. Then they took us to the area where we were going to have dinner. And one time we did it in a library, and then the other time we actually did it in a secondary room within the galley itself.
Yeah, that was kind of a tight space, though.
Yeah.
I actually thought about one more category.
Okay.
That is fairly new.
Okay.
So I don't know what do you want to classify it as, but it's actually a dinner and a show. So
yes.
on the Utopia, we got to do the, what was it, train?
The Utopia Royal Railway.
So you get your dinner and your show. And most recently on the Princess, we've noticed that they have a speakeasy.
Yes.
Where you can do a comedy show and a dinner.
Or Comedy Magic, I think is
Comedy Magic, whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that we're going to see more and more because they're trying to find different ways to obviously get people's money, but offer different experiences. So I think we're going to see more and more of this happening.
Yep. And I have to say, going on that Royal Railway was cool at least once. But with that being said, the way that it's designed, I find it something that they could switch up the show. So after they keep it as the Western style for so long, they could easily switch it up and have a different theme and have it still, be a different experience, maybe same meals and stuff like that. But it's still have a different live show within that space.
Scotty J Travels is just enter into our
whoop whoop, Scotty
right.
J.
Hello.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, so we're pretty much wrapping up our food talk. We've kind of exhausted our food talk. But
dietary restrictions.
Dietary, restrictions. So most cruise lines will accommodate it. And I'm gonna let Ryan talk about this because I hear Peachy and I gotta go let her out.
All right. So yes, most of the cruise lines, as long as you get in touch with them ahead of time, are going to help out with any kind of dietary restrictions that you may have. Whether it's lactose intolerant, whether it's gluten-free stuff, vegetarians, there's generally going to be an option for any type of dietary need. When you're doing the chef's table, I'll just put that out there in case everyone does have a dietary need. They will generally get in touch with you early since it is a personalized experience to find out any restrictions. One of the people that were with us, and you might have seen in some of our episodes, the Silver Fox, aka Fred, he's got a shellfish allergy, and one of the appetizers on the chef's table was a scallop carpaccio. And obviously he can't eat shellfish, so they ended up bringing him a beef carpaccio instead to supplement that. So he still had an elevated experience and this similar type of appetizers. So
sorry, Peachy had to go out. When she's got to go, she's got to
go. But yeah, so there are going to be the areas for the dietary needs, and they're normally going to be able to assist. You just got to let them know ahead of time. If it's something, a major, type of allergy. Just
right.
Sure.
Not even allergy, just, food preference. If you're vegan or whatever. I don't know why you'd be a vegan, but yeah.
Meat.
Yeah, meat.
So.
Yeah, but right. There's always something for everybody, just to recap that.
Definitely. All right. So I guess before we head out, though, let's close out the poll and let's see.
Okay. You can have controls then.
Yep. Let's see what we have here.
I'm curious what everybody prefers.
All right. So we have a majority for main dining room. So we had 44% say the main dining room is the favorite place to eat. You got 27% that prefer the buffet, 16% with the specialty dining, and then 11% with room service.
Okay.
So I think for me, my choice, now that I'm a little snoozy and nose in the air, is specialty dining. If I have my preference, it's going to be a specialty restaurant.
Well, if I had a preference, it'd be specialty, but I'm not a picky eater. I can find something anywhere. Mm-hmm. And as long as my food is hot, that's my only pet peeve for really food. If the food's supposed to be hot, I want my food hot.
Yep.
That's it.
All righty. Well, that brings our PKAT Chat to an end. So hopefully this has helped you. If it's the first time you haven't been on a cruise, or if you were wanting to know a little bit more about the dining options, hopefully this brought in some good info. And thank you for those that were in the live chat sharing their experiences as well. That definitely helps drive the conversation and
Yep.
provides a broader view on the topic for all of those to enjoy.
And everybody going on a cruise, have fun. I wish I was going with you guys. And
Yeah.
and if you're still driving, drive safely.
Yes. And have a margarita for us.
Yes. Alrighty. Well, I guess that's it.
Yep. No problem. And it's okay, Scotty. You can always do that hashtag replay if you get a chance to watch some of the beginning. But thank you so much for any time that you guys are able to dedicate and pop in here and
Yep.
have a chat with
We
us.
do appreciate it. We hope we didn't bore you too much.
No problem. Well, we'll see you next week. Next Wednesday, we'll be here to help you through next week and have some more chatty. Not everybody, thanks so much. And those, like Mel said, that are traveling, be safe and enjoy your cruise.
Yep.
Until next time, we'll catch you on.
Scenic route.
Bye.
Bye.